When it was determined that they needed to stop Trump from becoming president, you have seen the Strzok, Page, McCabe text messages and all that. They had to stop him. They had to prevent him. She had to be president. He was horrible. He couldn't win. He smelled like the people at Walmart, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So what they did, they constructed a story out of whole cloth in order to get FISA warrants on Carter Page. And they clearly framed George Papadopoulos by sending people to give him false information that he would eventually feed back to other people, other foreign intelligence services, which of course he didn't do. The foreign intelligence services basically made up what Papadopoulos told them. In fact, the Australian ambassador has denied that he said what it's been reported that George Papadopoulos told him. As a result of all of that, the FBI used newspaper articles which had been generated by Christopher Steele, the foreign spy who was hired by the DNC and Hillary Clinton and Fusion GPS, to put together information on Trump, none of which was true, none of which was ever verified, creating the Steele dossier. And Andrew McCabe has testified that but for the Steele dossier, there are no warrants against Carter Page. Now, it's my understanding from my conversations with people that the Inspector General, Michael Horowitz, who is investigating the FISA warrants and the possible abuse, has determined that the 3 extensions of the original warrant were all illegal, that they were based on bad information. They are now focusing on the first application for the first warrant in October of 2016 on Carter Page. And they were working on getting to a conclusion when it was discovered in the last week, some very fine reporting by John Solomon of The Hill, that made a major memorandum concerning Christopher Steele had been hidden by the FBI from the Inspector General. That memorandum was written by a Deputy Assistant Secretary of State who said, after meeting with her staff with Christopher Steele, who came in to see them, that he was basically a liar, unreliable, that he had a bias against the president and his campaign, that he wanted to hurt the president, that he helped Hillary Clinton, and that he wanted to get this information out before the election. This woman, the Deputy Assistant Secretary, her name was Kavalek, wrote a memo to the FBI and sent it to them immediately within 24 hours. The FBI, we now know, received it and did nothing about it. They buried it. They never told the FISA court, because remember, they had this information before the first application for a Carter Page FISA warrant. They never told the court about that. They never in any way undercut the credibility of Christopher Steele. And as a result of that, all of this other stuff was used to create a false investigation about the president. And the proof is in the pudding. Even Mueller, who was completely co-opted and anti-Trump, had to conclude that there was no evidence of a conspiracy with the Russians. So what you end up with is a false investigation, lies created by the intelligence community, by John Brennan, fortified by Comey's cooperation on it, knowing full well, he said in his testimony, that the dossier was salacious and unverified. Doesn't sound like it was the kind of information you should be given a federal court, but they did it anyway. It's quite normal for FISA applications to be decided on the paperwork. And the reason is, since the act was put into existence in 1977, the care with which the department has prepared the applications has been really excruciating and very professional until the Obama administration. They would frequently go to the judges and give them a sample of what they were seeking and be told this isn't going to make it. And so they would never even apply. They would do a test. In this particular case, they simply lied to the court. This was Sally Yates, the Deputy Attorney General, John Carlin, the Assistant Attorney General for the National Security Division, McCabe, and others at the FBI who prepared these documents. James Baker, the General Counsel, says he stands by every word in those applications. God bless him. Maybe he doesn't have any choice, because that's going to be his defense. He acted in good faith. The bottom line is they lied to the court, and they've disgraced the FBI and the Department of Justice, and the senior officials at the Department of Justice under Obama, Sally Yates, Loretta Lynch, John Carlin, all the people in the counterintelligence section have disgraced themselves, and they've harmed the department very, very much in the FBI. It's going to take in order to solve this problem and have accountability and get the dignity and respect back for the institutions of DOJ and FBI, there's going to have to be a grand jury.